Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Elden Ring walkthrough. So I'm starting out here at Gatefront, and this is of course an area that we've cleared already, but I need a better shield than the plank of wood that I've been carrying around this whole time. So I'm going to farm these guys for a little bit here and try to get the shield that this guy is using and that guy is using. I think it's called like the brass shield or something. It's a lot of enemies in the open world will drop their gear eventually if you farm them enough. The drop rates are never all that great, but I don't want to promise that every cool thing that you see any enemy using is something that you can get just by killing them. If it's something specific that you want, I'd probably recommend looking up, see what you can find online in the wiki or whatever about drop rates and see if they can drop that particular item before you go insane just killing them 1,000 times for it. But I do know for a fact, personally, that these guys will drop this shield eventually, so I'm going to work on this for a bit, and I'll be right back. Oh, and pro tip I forgot about, if you decide to do this yourself, I can't really say I forgot about it, I was never intending to tell you. It's a very specific situation, farming for this shield, but you can come over here, get that troll to hop down, and when he attacks, he'll damage all these enemies, so you can kind of just like round up both groups of enemies and have the troll take care of all of them for us. It would have been quicker to get all these guys' attention and bring them back to the troll first. I don't know. Blow the whistle. Bro. Do as I ask. Nope. There you go. Now back to the troll. Here we go. Big one. Yeah. And you still get all the runes too. It's great. Got a shield, not the one I was looking for though. That one of course only drops from the knight that's holding it. There we go, that's what we were looking for. Brass shield. I mentioned in one of the last episodes we get that 100% physical resistance heater shield from the NPC merchant at Round Table Hold. But that costs 1,500 runes, and this way we get a cooler looking shield that works just as well, and probably like, I don't know what I had, 3,000 or 4,000 runes probably, so good amount of runes out of it too. 1,000 every time you kill the troll. He kills everyone else. Alright, pick up 16 strength so I can actually use the shield, and we're looking good. So, now on to the rest of the episode. You want to go to Summonwater Village outskirts. And it's going to be hard to find, but somewhere around there, around this area, there's going to be a bright, glowing, purple, ghostly man in a boat. Just let me know when you see him. Oh, there he is. If you don't have headphones, this fight is slightly frustrating, because the only way to really find him when he teleports away is through a sound cue. But it's not too bad. He's going to summon skeletons. You can tell which ones are skeletons that he summoned by the red eyes. There are going to be lots of like regular skeletons around here too that he didn't summon. So I'd recommend kind of trying to stay out of the ruins, because that's where most of the skeletons are. The like default ones, not the ones he summons. But again, remember with skeletons, you gotta kill them twice, finish them off when they're on the ground, so they don't respawn. But just like the strat that we were doing, friendly fire is enabled. The boss will pretty much take out the skeletons for you most of the time. So if you just focus all your attention on the boss, most of his attacks are like just splashing water around. Kind of slam the boat, spray water at you, things like that. Lots of AoE kind of attacks, and skeletons get caught up in that stuff really easily, so... Let me see if I can just get him to take these skeletons out. As you can see, the skeleton's getting hurt. Big slam, all the skeletons get taken out, but you want to prevent them from getting back up if possible. Pretty limited moveset though. He's gonna try to hit you with the boat. Spray water at you. This is really the only like super hard hitting one you need to watch out for, but very telegraphed as you can see. And down he goes. And that's going to give us a death root. Hopefully. There we go. And the skeleton militiaman ashes. I forgot to mention this originally, but I would highly recommend checking out the skeleton militiaman ashes. They can be extremely effective because they operate under the exact same rules that any other skeleton in the game does, which means when they die, they will reanimate unless an enemy actually comes over and finishes them off when they're glowing on the ground. And most enemies in the game will not do that. Most enemies in the game don't even have an attack that lets them hit things on the ground very effectively. So unless they're just getting hit by like huge AoE attacks or things that are covering area on the ground, then they're just going to keep getting back up. So they can actually last for quite a while. And then as soon as he dies, D should actually move from up the hill down to here. So we talk to him and exhaust his dialogue. If he's not here, and go ahead and accept as well. If he's not here, try reloading your game. If he just doesn't show up at all for whatever reason, I have had that happen before. I'm not really sure why, but it's not important. It won't ruin his questline if you don't talk to him right here. It's just extra dialogue. He gives us that, well, he doesn't give us anything. He marks the map for us. Alright, exhausted his dialogue. He marked the map for us right over here, so we're going to check that out soon. But if he doesn't do it here, you can just talk to him back at Round Table Hold. He'll be sitting right next to the table, kind of near Dialos, and you can progress with this quest line that way, so no biggie. And then I think I grabbed this in one of the earlier episodes, but up here in this tower, there's going to be a Golden Rune 4. Yes, I did grab it. It's on the corpse in that tower, if you haven't picked it up yet. And then down this way, I'm gonna pop a stone sword key into here. And crack this open for the green turtle talisman. Another nice talisman to have early on. Raises stamina recovery speed. It's basically the Elden Ring equivalent of the Chloranthy Ring or Grass Crest Shield. If you played any of the Dark Souls games. I think I'll probably stick with the charge attack enhancement for now. But with that, we're done here, and you can warp to the Murkwater Coast Grace, like right here in the middle of this river. And this should be low enough that we can just drop straight down into the riverbed if I'm not mistaken. Oh, okay, we're going. Yep, it worked out fine. I knew it would, for sure. And this is like right past where we talked to Yura after that invasion last time. Same river. Alright, and this is honestly the main reason why I wanted the shield, was just so we can get more reliable guard counters. Not more reliable, but less self-inflicted damage while we're dealing with these imps. Oh yeah, that felt good. And I didn't lose any health from it. Sometimes these just, you know, slash and pierce type weapons, you're fighting things made of stone like these guys, it just doesn't work very well. There's gonna be another one hiding around the corner, so try to bait these guys to come forward if you can. They might be annoying and just keep spamming knives, usually. Alright, we got that one. I'm gonna back into this arrow trap. Use that to our advantage, and it'll reset in just a second so we can use it against these guys since they stepped forward. Slow and steady wins the race, right? I'm sure you've already experienced in your own game how quickly these guys can overwhelm you and build up that bleed status effect, so... Alright, I will make the first move. And there's the lever for the boss fight already. This one is like freakishly short for some reason. Alright, I think there's another one above maybe? Yes. That was smooth. Alright, cool. And that's about it for that catacomb. Easy as that. Alright, this guy is kind of a tricky moveset because he kind of spins a lot, which makes it harder to figure out exactly where to stand to land a backstab. But despite that, I feel like spamming backstabs is still the most effective way to defeat him, quite frankly. He's got some kind of nasty jumping attacks. I'm pretty sure he buffs himself at some point. Speak of the devil. And when he does the jumping attack, it has like a shockwave that you want to watch out for. And of course he can change his grip from holding the handle to the chains and extend the range on those hammers as well, so... I think just staying super close to him and just keep circling to get behind him is just the safest thing to do. And you get all the damage from the backstab, so that's what I would recommend doing. The further away you are, the more you have to deal with like the varying range. He's going to use the chains more to his advantage, and he's going to run at you and jump at you. I want to see if I can get him to do it at least once. Really doesn't want to. Oh well. Just stay close. Unless you're a sorcerer, I guess. Oh. There it is. See that big shockwave? So that'll hurt you. But yeah, if you're a sorcerer, you can hit him from far away too, so it's not a big deal, right? You get the Banished Knight Engvall Ashes. These are super sick, honestly. They, we haven't... Yeah, no, we haven't fought any Banished Knights yet. They're posted up at Stormvale Castle. We'll be there soon enough. But This guy is very tanky, and he has, like, he has a halberd, and these just, like, big, sweeping, spinning attacks, so he's, like, really good at, honestly, situations, like, where you're taking on 3 or 4 of those imps at once, just lots of, like, small enemies. He's really good at dealing with that, so definitely check him out if you haven't before. And then we want to warp up here to Saints Bridge. And hop over here, get a little closer to the spring, and then head north. If you go up this ridge to the left, just at the end here, drop down somewhere, just end of the cliff basically to the northwest there. There's like a bonfire and it's like, what's it called? Turtleneck meat? It's a thing that you can farm from killing just regular turtles in the game, so I'm not going to bother running up there, but it is there if you want it. Pop the lantern on. And then you can drop down. That wolf has aimbot. Alright, and then we can go down this hole in the middle as well. All the way down. Some cave moss back here. And you want to crash through these barrels. And the path in this cave splits a couple times, but you'll end up in the same place either way. This way gets you more loot though than the other direction, so that's why we're coming this way. But if we hadn't gone through the barrels, then we would have come through this entrance directly to my right here. That just loops back around to where we were before. And then in here, got a Stake America, so if you die, you only come back to here, which is nice because lots of place to fall down. Alright, so there's going to be a bat here, and then we're going to turn around, there's a bat right there, and either right after we drop or after we kill this guy, something like that, the bat on that pillar is going to fly over, so just keep him in mind. Here he comes. Let's wait for him. Or knock him out of the sky. 3 smithing stone 1s. And you can drop down into the waterfall. And into the cave we go. Smithing stone 2. Take these guys out. I haven't upgraded my weapon, but I feel stronger. I mean, it has been upgraded, but not since, like, the last episode or anything. Alright, and then you want to drop straight down. Land on this rock. Jump across. Jump up. And then kind of same deal here. And kill these 2 bats in the middle, and then one by one, the ones around the outside are going to join the fray, so just keep your guard up. Get the sham shear. Alright, and then hop over here to the northeast, or more just east. Deal with this thing. Kill the children too. We don't discriminate here. Alright, and then continue through the cave. Get a Furl Calling Finger Remedy. This is another multiplayer item. You need to use this to actually be able to see summon signs. And then drop down into the waterfall again. And boss time. Okay, so these guys are a lot scarier than they... less scary than they look. If you hit the glowing spots on their ankles or their wrists, if you're able to reach them, it's gonna do a lot more damage than if you hit anywhere else for one, but it's also going to stagger them fairly quickly. So, especially if you can get some jumping attacks, heavy attacks. You want to stay close to their feet and behind them if possible to avoid the weapon, and just kind of, you know, don't get too tunnel visioned on the feet so you can see what he's doing when he attacks. They're going to fall on their side once you stagger him, go to the chest for the crit, and it does a whole lot of damage. That is the strat for those golem enemies anywhere in the game. They're all going to have, you know, sometimes they will have different weak points. But wherever they're glowing, just go ahead and hit that. And you'll be able to stagger them fairly easily, and the crits just hit super, super hard on them for whatever reason. And you also get the blue dancer charm. There's a lore thing with this. The blind swordsman, I think he's called. Held the Shamshir, I think. Let's see. Devastatingly powerful weapon in the hands of skilled swordsmen. Pretty sure it's what the warrior... Is it the warrior? The guy that starts with the dual swords? Whichever. The guy in the blue robes, whatever starting class that is in Elden Ring. It's like based off of him too. As well as the blue dancer charm. Raises attack power with lower equipment load. Yeah. Cool lore. Go watch a Vadi video, not mine. Anyway, on to the Deathtouched Catacombs. Let's go... Actually, no, let's not go straight there. Let's go to War Master's Shack first. And we want to just run like straight north, basically. Underneath this giant bridge. Somewhere along this dirt path, gonna get kicked off our horse and invaded. It's too quick. Oh, I thought he was gonna go over the top. I'm getting annihilated. I jumped over him. Sorry, buddy. He looks so sad with the arrow sticking out of him. Alright, get the Hammer Talisman. That one is going to enhance the stamina reducing attack against blockers, so if someone tries to block you and you have that on, they're going to lose a hell of a lot more stamina. Which is why I didn't try to block in that fight. Alright, so more multiplayer items. These ones are for invading, for PvP, not co-op. And then Also, this thing, as of the Colosseum update, this feels weird to say, it's so long ago now. I'm saying it as if it's news, but it was new. I don't even think it was out, actually, when I wrote this part of the guide. That's how long ago I started this ridiculous project that I'm doing for some reason. But yeah, you can go inside here now, and there's 3 Colosseums in the game. This is the Limgrave Colosseum, obviously. This one in particular features United Combat and Combat Ordeal. United, as you might have guessed, is team-based. There will be 2 teams of players and a set time limit. Whichever team gets the most kills before the time runs out, they win. And then Combat Ordeal is the same thing, but a free-for-all instead of teams. Every man for themselves. Whoever has the most points when the time runs out wins. So, that's that. And the different Colosseums will have different game modes, so that's what you're working with for right now. And then when you're back outside, want to run southeast in the direction of the Deathtouched Catacombs. But we want to kill this guy on horseback. Actually, let's grab all these smoldering butterflies. Whenever you see these like flaming slugs out in the field, there's always a bunch of smoldering butterflies around, which you'll need to craft fire-related things, like fire throwing pots, which honestly use all the time in this game, so nice to have a stockpile of those. Awesome. I jumped too high. Down he goes. There we go, get that crit I was talking about last episode. And the Ash of War Golden Vow. Nice little buff that you can throw in either your main weapon or like an offhand weapon. I think that's Golden Vow. Hold on. Let me double check before I just tell you something wrong. Yeah, nearby allies increased attack power and defense. And then I'm just gonna teleport inside because I already have the grace. Why not? Why do this deal with this peasant fall damage outside? I don't need to do that. I'm different. Also, spend your runes and level up more often than I do. I just forget about it. Just keep moving forward. I'm like fairly confident because I at least have the advantage of having played the game before, so I'm not going to get like completely surprised by and blindsided by like walking into a room. But that doesn't mean I can't die. Especially around skeletons. Absolutely diabolical little bastards. Alright, and then... oh, there's 2 more back here. You have to activate them for some reason. You can't just hit them on the floor even when it's like obvious that they're going to reanimate. Grab the Grave Glovewort. And there's a couple ways you can do this dungeon. You can take the route I'm taking. I feel like this is a little easier than the alternative. But I'll show you what I mean in the next room. Pick some more flowers. Alright, so in here there's just a ton of skeletons ready to reanimate. You can see them all over the place. Get another Uchigatana. I mentioned in the first episode also, by the way, that like, you know, you pick your class based on essentially what gear you want to use and what stats you want to have when you're first starting the game. And I was like, we're gonna find another bow and another Uchigatana. There's another bow. But yeah, you can get to them super quickly. Obviously, we didn't rush straight to this catacomb, but we did unlock it in one of the first episodes, and it's so close to where you spawn. It's not like you couldn't come straight here, so that's what I was getting at. It's just like, a starting class really doesn't matter. You're not locking yourself out of any items by any means. Guess I'll drop on this guy. And then finish him off. Okay, they're really reanimating more one by one than I remember, but I'm gonna come in here and pull the lever. There we go. As you can see, there are lots of skeletons in that room now. So I like to clear the top first, because then you don't have to deal with all of them shooting you while you're killing all the ones on the bottom. There's less archers down here. This is awkward. How did that miss? I must not let him reanimate. That was their leader. Don't ask me how I know that. Oh. Okay, okay. Relax. See what I mean? Don't carry around 11,000 runes at all times. Alright, that's dealt with. The move was honestly probably to just take them out like 2 at a time while they were reanimating instead of running into the lever room first. So, once again, do as I say, not as I do. You'll figure it out though. And, this boss isn't that bad. I don't need extra heals. Famous last words. It starts at half health though, so it really isn't that bad. And if you weren't making a walkthrough, you could even summon. Ow. Don't let it get behind you though, I will say that. Because it will backstab you. I don't know why I didn't elaborate on that, but that's why you don't want it to get behind you. You get the Assassin's Crimson Dagger, which is something that I actually love and might switch to, in fact. Maybe. I don't know. So my thought process right now is I do a lot of charge attacks, so enhancing charge attacks is great, but what this does is it makes so critical hits restore HP. So if you're getting lots of backstabs, as well as those guard counters, then you're getting lots of crits, and this will just keep topping off your health, so you don't have to use as many flasks. So, I don't know. There's no harm in switching right now, I guess. Don't forget to open the chest for another death root. And return to entrance. It's not like a huge heal with that talisman, but it's, you know, if you're just mostly taking chip damage and not just getting like obliterated every time you get hit, then it's definitely going to keep your health topped off pretty well. Like a good example is if I was still using the wooden shield that I was using before, I'm going to be taking chip damage while I go for those guard counters on the imps and stuff, but that talisman might be enough to offset the damage I take through my shield if I keep landing crits. Alright, and then let's go actually back to War Master's Shack again. I think it'd be make more sense to approach it from this side. I don't know, it doesn't really matter, but... I'll hop up onto this ridge. And drop down onto this thing. Get the lance. I'm just gonna go down there and kill him. That's not the button I meant to hit. That's fine though. Alright, so main threats in this camp are there's a knight over there surrounded by dogs, and there are also dogs by the entrances, so be wary of that. Alright, that's taken care of. Gotta love the wolves. The exalted flesh, and we already opened that chest for the shield. Cool. Alright, that's that, and then we can warp over. What are you guys angry at? Oh, there's another dog. Okay. Warp over to Stormhill Shack. And then make your way over to this road, and before it goes down between the cliffs, hop up to the right side. There's that troll that hops down that we were using earlier. I thought that would stagger you. Crack open the chest for the arrow's reach talisman. It's going to increase the effective range on your bow. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but these little skulls with the glowing eyes, they have golden runes in them. And you can just, if you're on Torn, you can literally walk over them and they'll break, and then you just spam the pickup button to get the rune that pops out. Gonna ignore Stormhill Everjail for now. That boss is pretty tough. Probably actually just gonna fight it in the next episode, but next episode is going to be filled with things that you don't have to do yet because they're a little harder than what we've been doing, but I'm gonna show them off anyway. Gonna run all the way to the corner and grab the Starlight Shard. And then climb up this ruin thing. The cross-legged gesture. Cross legs. How are we doing on time? We're out of time. Let's just say we're out of time. So that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Hope that was helpful. And we are pretty much going to finish up Limgrave in the next episode, which is exciting. Finally get out of here. I can feel like I'm actually making progress on the walkthrough for once. So I will see you next time for that. Have a good one.